Welcome to yet another Getting Spicy with Cinnamon. You all know what time it is. It's time for us to talk about whatever naughty things come into our heads. So, as all of you begin making your way in, how are you all doing this day? Hello, Princess Star Song. Welcome to the live stream. Already, we're getting all sorts of fantastic people in. You all know the drill. Touch that like button as you make your way in. Make it your bitch if you'd like. I wouldn't dare tell you otherwise. Oh, and Princess Starsong got me a new coffee cup over the holiday season. I wonder if somebody's trying to tell me something. And since this is our first makeup live stream since the holidays, all of you, don't forget to tell me how your holiday went. Mine was quiet, for the most part, which I like quiet. I didn't do anything too terribly exciting. So far, 10 of you in here. Don't be afraid to ask questions or talk to me. I mean, after all, that's half the fun in one of these live streams. Hello, I believe that's supposed to be Kaiser. Well, I don't speak. That does look oriental in its nature. But welcome along anyways. You'll have to excuse me, I only speak two languages, English and bad English. Again, welcome along to the live stream. Make yourself right at home. Your name reminds me of that one person that was supposed to be in the movie, The Usual Suspects. Kind of reminds me of that. Kind of an interesting name. Am I seeing Arabic script? Which that's perfectly fine, but you'll have to use English. We don't use other languages other than English. So I do apologize. Again, what am I doing here? I'm doing a live stream. We just come and talk about whatever. Mostly we just make jokes. So, again, make yourself right at home. Thank you so much, Spirit Wolf Gaming. My dear friend Spirit Wolf, who does collabs with me every other week on Star Trek Online, and we had such a good time yesterday. We had a fantastic time. Thank you again so much for doing the live stream with me. Hello, Alpha Wolf. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream. He must have said something that shouldn't have been said. Spirit Wolf with the using that wrench. Swing away, big boy, swing away. A member of Motley Crue. Oh, I do love the band, but I'm not a member of Motley Crue. Oh, well. Oh, Alpha, you're not late. You're just in time. The party just started only 8 minutes ago. And again, thank you, Spirit Wolf, for swinging that wrench. Well chosen. I come on here usually every other week, and we have a good time. And if you're wondering, the hair is because I'm Native American. And the makeup's just for fun. Do you do anything for fun? That's fair. But I like my long hair. Again, welcome along to the live stream. I'm not a bit surprised due to his background. Well, there's what they call being language qualified. So of course he would have to know how it's spoken, even some of the different dialects, and how it's written. So, now that it's been about 11 minutes, I have to say, Spirit Wolf, did you enjoy the new little ship, Uber Boobers? I had a great time with it. I can't wait to get underway on beginning its build. And again, we had a great time yesterday. Thank you again so much from the bottom of my heart. And of course, reminding everyone that I'm a lot of fun. Yes, I have a ship called Uber Boobers. It's that new Elios ship. Wait until I begin its true build. And of course, we got your ship up and running tip top yesterday. Had a few hiccups, but that's expected. Learn a brand new ship, gotta do a little bit of work. We'll iron out the details later. And for the record, does it sound like my voice belongs on one of those 1-800 sex lines? Call me for a good time. 1-800-CUM-SHOT. Be sure to have your credit card in one hand and your dong in the other. I'm almost wondering now, because we found out that that was an actual sex line, I'm almost wondering if that's their new line, if that's like a line they use now. They're probably wondering whenever someone calls, who the hell is this cinnamon bitch? Oh, thank you so much, Spirit Wolf. I enjoy running with you. And Prince Magnum, let's face facts, he just goes in and jackhammers things. I do it with finesse. He has one big nasty ship, and I have several that can do a lot of damage. Yes, Alpha Wolf. The ship is called Uber Boobers. Of course, I also got one called the Bad Girl, another one called the Busty Girl. Princess Star's song, she's like, I don't know what to say to that. I am enjoying a funnel cake flavor. Tastes just like it with a hint of cinnamon. Or if you prefer, here, hang on. Almost look like a fire-breathing dragon at that point. And of course, my favorite ship that I use on Star Trek Online is the Luscious Girl. She's quite the bad girl. Of course, I've had a little bit of help along the way with that one. Some of you running with me on those missions to get certain items that make it a nasty customer. Oh, well, I usually get every other week with you. It's almost like a divorce. We have to share you every other week, and even though Prince Magnum has his ways. Of course, then again, yesterday, my character looked like she was, the character I used, she looked like she was on the dance floor, strip stark naked. Of course, then again, she was also surrounded by a bunch of them a little bit later, and she didn't look like she was wearing much of anything. See, you get it. And for the record, ironically enough, on Star Trek Online, believe it or not, Spirit Wolf actually, when Spirit Wolf and I do collabs, the views on this channel are even higher than they are whenever him and Prince Magnum run. The irony of that. Now I have to ask the question, do y'all prefer my hair up? Last week's with you and Prince Magnum. Oh, absolutely. I have to ask, do you prefer my hair down or do you prefer it up? Anyhow. Well, hello, Mystical. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, you like it down? That reminds. It's so good to see Mystical here. She's been doing quite a showing over there on her channel. And so the last one I got to see was Resident Evil. And for the record, if it hadn't been for a Chrysler plant closing down in California, Mystical and I would have been living in the same neighborhood. Yes, I briefly got to see the face cam one. That's right. Oh, we would have gotten into all sorts of trouble. Would have been a lot of big girl fun. Oh, there you go, Mystical. My new coffee cup. I think someone's trying to tell me something. Well, just for the record, if I was into gardening, I would probably, my favorite tool would probably be a hoe. Oh, it's just regular. Well, there's nothing wrong with being a classy hoe. That reminds me, Mystical, you were the one that asked the question in my Discord. Does cinnamon prefer peanut butter or chocolate? Depends. What are you into? Dirty hoe is okay sometimes. Well, Alpha, there was at one time I had 21 guys show up, and I had to actually just say, I'm awfully tired. Could you send one home? Well, here we are asking the question. The real The real question always comes down to if you enjoy sex, some people believe that makes you a hoe. But the truth of it is, if liking sex makes me a hoe, then I'll own it. That's the way I treat it. Like we're not supposed to enjoy it. $5 in peanut butter cups. Oh goodness. Prince Magnum will have to tell that story again. It's so good to see everyone. It's nice to know that Cinnamon Lives still bring everyone together. And since we're on stories, I mean, there was at one time that the neighbor's son, he was turning 18, so I let him and 4 of his friends have their way with me. Oh, goodness. Well, you definitely need to Cinnamon Live. Oh, goodness. Well, we were running a little bit behind today, but just trying to get the makeup right. Princess Starsong did an amazing job with my makeup as usual. She even added her own personal touch. And you can't rush perfection. You did my makeup. Well, hello, Neo. Welcome along to the live stream. Yes, I heard all about TikTok. Prince Magnum's a little bit more equipped to discuss the banning of TikTok, but that just means that I won't be doing TikTok, the usual TikTok videos. Oh, knows. And who doesn't like nude? Absolutely. Get that content out there. Yes, the way that it kind of works, well, he's better equipped to explain all of that. Me, I'm just here for the party. Yes, Princess Starsong did my makeup. I think she did an amazing job. No, but I usually am. I'm usually in all sorts of trouble. The kind of trouble that makes me end up sitting there going, don't stop, don't stop. It's usually such a good time. And for those that do not know, it's like almost like a tradition at some point. I have to make the don't stop joke. And that actually got started back after my 3rd live stream. Well, during my 3rd live stream ever. And the way that it came about, someone asked the question, Cinnamon, do you have a safe word? And then I had to quickly think on my feet. And I'm like, I probably should have a safe word. I've been known to have partners that get awfully rough with me. And it's kind of become my little catch-all line. See what I mean? It's like you expect it, like you expect water when it rains. You expect me to make that joke like you expect white spots, white fluid to fly everywhere when I give a hand job to somebody. I'm waiting for everyone to begin cracking up at what I just said. Oh, look, it's all icky, sticky, ooey gooey. Well, hello, J-Dog. Welcome to the live stream. I was sitting there, oh, the new joke. Yes, go ahead and put your links into your channels if you have a YouTube channel. Feel free. If you're in blue, drop that link. Oh goodness, I've been sitting there talking about that, the 1-800 sex line. For years, I've been telling that joke. Call me for a good time. 1-800 come shot. Be sure to have your credit card in one hand and your dong in the other. Hi there, Cat. Welcome along to the live stream. Well, I've been wondering now, since we know that it's a real sex line, the question has been, well, they're probably wondering, who is the cinnamon bitch that everyone keeps wanting to talk to? They already know to have their credit card out. Which brings to mind, phone sex doesn't hurt anybody, but then again, sex on TV doesn't hurt unless you fall off. Oh, we all sexy bitches in here. And of course, last night, playing Star Trek Online, everyone got a big laugh at the name of my new ship, Uber Boobers. Too bad they won't let me get away with calling one Tank Tits. Who hasn't gotten over that? Hello, Bruno. Welcome along to the Cinnamon live stream. Oh, you nearly laughed so hard you cried for, oh goodness. That's one of those laughs that you're sitting there. It's like if I laugh anymore, I feel like I'm gonna die. Exactly, Ryan. Now I gotta throw out this classic joke for all of you. Has anyone read the book Spots on the Wall by Who Flung Goo? Oh, goodness. That's a classic joke. You can just spring that on anyone at any time. Or that other book, Tracks in the Sand by Peter Dragon. Oh, goodness. Think about it a moment. Tracks in the Sand by Peter Dragon. We'll just wait for that to sink in. A submarine. There you go. What, you thought I was going to say something else? You dirty-minded. I would have loved to have seen that photo. Grand total is 6 likes. Be sure to touch that like button in a sensual manner. Make it talk dirty to you. Make it moan. YouTube, if the like button doesn't do that, you need to do it. You need to set it up so whenever we touch it, it goes, That needs to be a thing. And while we're also on the subject of sharing people out, make sure to get over and see my buddy Spirit Wolf, who does collabs with me every other weekend on Star Trek Online. Get over there and show his channel some love. I mean, I enjoy his content when I'm alone, and I'm in a dark room, and I'm naked, surrounded by all of my toys, covered in oil. Well, if we're going to talk about growing things, yes, really. Like you didn't expect me to make that joke at some point. Now I've got to ask the question, who likes Pokemon? My personal favorite Pokemon is Squirtle. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm sick and tired of all the Pikachu stuff. I want more Squirtle stuff. We've already had, after all, we've already had the Detective Pikachu movie. Whoop-de-doo. But myself personally, I want to see a Detective Squirtle movie. Oh goodness, on the big screen, coming at you live to your living room. Oh yes, I've seen your YouTube channel. It's good stuff, sweetie. But as I was saying, talking about a Detective Squirtle movie, since we live in a time where we like to shorten everything and put acronyms to everything, what's short for detective? Dick. We can call him Dick Squirts. And I even know how to do the whole advertisement thing. Dick Squirts running around with his partner Dick Ride-On, solving crimes in the tall grass. We could make a whole precinct of Detective Pokemon. Dick Ride-On, Dick Licky Lick, Dick Smoochum. Dick Machoke. The only one that we can't get away with is Dick Haunter. That sounds like something you don't want to catch. Oh, I suffer from Dick Haunter. You should probably take some penicillin. She's probably laughing uncontrollably. Well, that's just one of those moments that the Dick Haunter thing, you don't want to catch that. Oh, goodness. Well, for the record, I must say, when it comes to the bedroom, I say use your other half up like a plastic sex toy and turn him every which way but loose. I mean, after all, there's nothing wrong with having a willing partner or two. Hello, Russ. Welcome along to the live stream. Crazy, right? Well, what isn't crazy nowadays? Depends on what your definition of crazy is, because that all falls down to the question of what is normal. What might be normal for one person may be abnormal for another. And to that person that feels it's abnormal, what might be normal to another person would be considered crazy. Oh, rated RJ. We don't talk religion in here, for a good reason. Thank you so much, Princess Star Song. Well, I mean, technically speaking, the first few seasons of Pokemon, let's take a look at my theory on that. We have Misty running around with two young guys. We know what was going on in camp that night. Oh, goodness, well, yes. We know what was going on between Misty and with Ash and Brock in camp. Misty was getting tag team on one end by Ash while getting tag team on the other from Brock while she was deep throating Pikachu's ear. That's what I think was going on in the first few seasons of Pokemon. It's okay, Awful Wolf. So, I'm just curious what you think of that theory. I think it's plausible. Especially on the part of her deep throating Pikachu's ear. What, it's long enough. Well, it's just like Scooby-Doo. We know why. Fred was actually wearing that ascot, him and Daphne. They were swingers. Because that was usually a sign of people who were into swinging. Back in the day, they would wear an ascot. Actually, there was more to it than that, but But that's a running theory. Well, yes, if you ever notice how Fred usually split the group up. Shaggy, Scooby, you guys go run off and get into trouble. I'm gonna go ahead and go over here with Daphne and Velma. If you see the Mystery Machine a rockin', don't you come a knockin'. Well, hello, Zero. Welcome along to the live stream. No, I have not had a chance to get over there to Discord. No. Oh, goodness. Well, we'll do what we can to make sure that it gets out to everybody. Regardless, welcome to the live stream. Pretty much the whole fleet is here, just about. And of course, yesterday we couldn't help but show off the brand new ship. We'll have to get to work on it. We're actually missing a couple of them. Let's not forget. Oh, it's okay. Typos are a thing. Yes, about 60% of us are here. Again, it's so good to see all of you. And yesterday, the live stream was a smashing success. We had a great time. As much fun as you're going to have with your clothes on. But then again, you all don't know if I was wearing clothes or not. I can't tell you, it's YouTube, not Pornhub's. Typos are out for your blood. Well, you know, things happen. Should see it when I go to try to type. Oh yes, it was a great time. Yeah, it's just the autocorrect, but it's auto-corrupt. Oh, and many of you have got to see the brand new bridge officer that the character Firehawk has. It's a midget. He's got a top-heavy midget female. I seen that and I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, when you only want a little sex. think if I remember correctly, she's like 4'7". Absolutely. Of course, the only bad thing about that is if your character decides to run up behind that the room went quiet. Don't worry. Everyone's probably still taking in what I just said. Oh, and yes. Oh, goodness. Naughty things also happen in quiet, too. Usually it gets pretty loud after that. Don't stop. Don't stop. Well, it can't be any worse than that neighbor's son that I'd tell you all about. The neighbor's son was turning 18, so I figured I'd throw him a party. So what ended up happening was the neighbor's son and 4 of his friends came over and had their way with me. Who knows? I'm actually 5'9". Some of the gals look around and that's a huge bitch. Oh, goodness. Little bit's in one of those moods. Goodness. Not quite. Doesn't matter what height you are, as long as you're fun. Fun comes in all sizes and shapes, if you know what I mean. Which reminds me, if you got a sweetheart, turn that heat up to an 11. Grand total of 8 likes. If you haven't done so, touch that like button in a sensual manner. Make it moan your name. And if it doesn't moan your name, YouTube, get on that. That needs to be a thing. Actually, I may have to dig it up. I'll have Prince Magnum dig it up for you. The interview where someone who was on the set of The Princess Bride asked Andre the Giant if he was enjoying making the movie, and he said yes. And what was special about it was he turned around, when they said, "Well, why are you enjoying it so much?" He said, "Because no one judges me." He truly suffered a lot of judgment because of how people treated him for his large stature. And from what I understand, he was a likable person. Well, every once in a while, when I'm out and about, some people say, "Cinnamon, you make one hot looking chick. I actually feel a little jealous." Oh, don't be jealous. You're all beautiful in your own special way. Oh, absolutely. He was, from what I've understood. I always like to remind people, just because you're short, dynamite comes in small packages. Uh, I thought I'd get a laugh out of that one. Well, this is a no judgment zone here. You do you, boo boo. As long as you don't hurt anybody or yourself. You should have seen it. Well, you and I are near the same age, Zero. In the 90s, it was very much the dark ages still with mental illness. It's just now that we're starting to get a grasp on it. And so it's going to take the rest of the world and catching up. Patience. Well, we don't judge here. You just have to do what makes you feel the best. And the best solution I know is just don't pass judgment. How can you tell someone else how to live their life if half the time we don't always know ourselves what to do with our own? So how can we tell anyone how to live their life? So we keep it as a judgment-free zone. I'll be 46 in August. Oh yes, it was very barbaric back in the 80s. Mental illness is sometimes still treated that way. And that's just because some people are ill-informed. Now, whether they choose to take that information and use it to their benefit or still look down their nose, well, unfortunately, we live in a world where that takes time. Patience is a virtue, even though I struggle with it from time to time myself. Or in the worst case scenario, March 23rd. Oh, you're just a little bit older than me. I always tease and say I'm old like dirt. It's so wonderful that you all are getting along so well. Here in the live stream, people chatting and having a good time. More than anything, that's what I enjoy the most, interacting with all of you. And if all of you are wondering, the heart with the X underneath, because I love to be X-rated. That's all right, I'm usually the oldest one in people's streams too. Earlier, well, if y'all didn't get a chance to see it, check out my coffee cup. I think somebody's trying to tell me something. Which that brings to mind, since this is on the cup, if anyone pushed me down. Not by much, though. Since this is what my coffee cup has written on it, I have the question: if anyone pushes me down, would that be a hoedown? Oh, that's wonderful. Good to see those of you in the fleet hanging out and getting into all sorts of excitement. Well, I'm glad you guys had a great time. Well, that's because at that time, we had just finished the live stream, had to go and eat something and take care of myself. Go for a couple hours on STO, you need to stop at some point and go take care of you. There were several of us in the live stream. That was a lot of fun. We nearly had a complete group going into several of them. So I guess you could say, Zero, you came in as the party was winding down. Maybe at some point. See, Prince Magnum has put out a couple of when the Borg cry war crimes. Maybe I need to do my edition. Who wants me to do an edition of When the Borg Cry War Crimes here on YouTube? I see a show of hands. When the Borg Cry War Crimes, Part 3, Cinnamon Edition. My ship isn't guilty of war crimes. It's only kinky the first time around. Then we need to start looking and setting up, those days where we all come together. It's that simple. That's what we have an event calendar for. Currently, right now, the brand new recording studio where I'm at actually we're actually beginning to lay down carpet, but we're doing it in an unusual way. This interlocking carpet squares looks kind of like this, but big squares where you can take this piece off. Now, I have a big question for all of you. Oh, thank you so much, Neo. I have a big question for all of you. If I was to start chewing on this, would I be a carpet muncher? I'm waiting for you all to take in that joke. There it was. Prince Magnum will be able to answer that question about the PC a little bit more than I. It hasn't been sent to a repair shop, but he would be able to answer that a little bit better. I thought so. I figured you all could use a very interesting laugh. Well, let's worry about one thing at a time, Zero. There's a lot going on over here. But again, Prince Magnum will go into that as the weeks go by for this new year, 2025. Who remembers whenever I started, your favorite queen started showing up here on YouTube, 2020. Here we are, 5 years later, still doing this. Neo, I know you and Kat are probably laughing at that carpet joke, probably more than we probably should. So pretty much from here, all I have to do is this. And we know where your mind will go. Right back to that joke. Oh, goodness. Well, we'll talk about it. Go for it, sweetie. Well, that's the whole point. A good joke stays around for a while, and a good comedian runs it into the ground, Neo. I do my best to try to provide a little bit of comedy on here. Which again, as a reminder, the comedy is there to help you feel a little lighthearted. A lot of folks come into these streams usually carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. I like to try to give them a chance to let that go, to get it out of their system. Okay, I see where I think I know where this is going to go. My favorite movie, well, believe it or not, I do like action movies. I do like a lot of action movies. One of my favorite movies of all time is an 80s martial arts action movie. Yes, I've been told that. I've been told that you want me to build a ship for you. I'm already looking into it. Oh, hello, Wolf Hunter. Welcome to the live stream. 80s martial arts. Oh, Nine Deaths of the Ninja. Very good movie. There's a lot of innuendo in it, and the action is actually pretty decent. It's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, the innuendo is all the way through it, and sometimes they're just right out there blatantly in the open. So you get a little bit of everything. And it's a cheesy 80s action movie, but it's one of my personal favorites. Then another personal favorite of mine, and my dear friend Spirit Wolf will appreciate this. There was an 80s movie back in the day called The Adventures of Remo Williams. The Adventure Begins. They never went beyond that as far as movies went. Of course, there was a brief TV show for a while, but the main character in that movie played opposite of Kevin Bacon in the movie Tremors. I forget his name, to be honest with you, but also in that movie of Remo Williams was none other than Kate Mulgrew, who later on goes on to play Catherine Janeway in Star Trek Voyager. Well, I'm glad you're here, Wolf Hunter. I'm glad you can make it to the party. Oh goodness, have they been dewormed? That's an interesting way of putting it. That is interesting. A grand total of 10 of you here. Be sure to hit that like button. Talk to it in a dirty way. Which that brings to mind, talking about deworming. Well, I mean, I guess it could be worse. I mean, it could be a lot worse. Everyone in here could be burping a worm, gagging a gecko, choking a chicken. Flogging a dolphin, beating the bacon, slapping around salami. Oh, why is my face so sticky? How many of you were laughing uncontrollably at that? Oh yeah, Spanking the Monkey. Am I the only one that's ever watched the Disney's version of Aladdin and say Aladdin stop spanking a boo? I'm just wondering how many of you are laughing at that. Well, what are you waiting for? Get to streaming. Oh, Neo's dying with laughter. Yes, Abu is Aladdin's monkey. So whenever... Oh, you need air, huh? Which that also brings to mind. Aladdin flies around on a magic carpet. The question with that remains, if that Disney princess Jasmine decides to lick that carpet, does that mean she's a carpet muncher too? Right now, all of you are laughing uncontrollably. Air is overrated. Why not? I typically find I typically find the best solution for dealing with depression is to stay busy as you can. Do as much as you can. Now I've got to do it again. Hey, Neo. It's a section of carpet. Right now, Neo's laughing uncontrollably. Because earlier I pointed out if I started chewing on this, would I be a carpet muncher? Right now, I think Neo's laughing so hard he can't even breathe. Yes, he's lost it. You was eating a cookie, huh? I'm just wondering how much of that cookie got spit across the room. My new version of Aladdin. Disney Princess Jasmine licking the flying carpet while, while Aladdin's standing there watching and spanking Abu. Now Neo's really lost it. I'm just wondering how much Cat is laughing at this too. The idea. Now you all won't be able to watch Aladdin the same again. You only stop when it starts chafing. Half the cookie took flight. Good comedy goes a long ways. So now that I've ruined Disney and Pokemon for you all, alrighty. Well, it doesn't mean that I won't be working on it in secret. Oh, yes, I've seen those videos too. Kat's unable to compose herself. No wonder she hasn't said anything in the chat for a while. What can I say? When I start on comedy, you just never know where it's going to go next. The reason why they put adult innuendos in the kids' movies is so the adults don't feel like they're watching something boring with their kids. They put it in there to keep the adults interested. And let's face facts, sex sells. What's sad? The fact that sex sells. Unless you're here in the United States, you can't even rent it. Unless you live in Nevada. Hey, Neo. I only speak the honest to goodness truth, or the truth as best as I can find it. There's nothing wrong with being a little on the nympho side. Oh, in case you missed it, Neo. Right now, Kat's laughing uncontrollably. Just remember, folks, it's only kinky the first time around. Oh, she's made it back. Welcome back, Kat. What did you think of my idea for a new version of Aladdin? Oh, yes. That spirit wolf, he tried to call me. Call me for a good time. 1-800-COME-SHOT to be sure to have your credit card in one hand and your dog in the other. Neo drain the info out of you. How many times I gotta say it? Dynamite comes in small packages. I've been wondering if the people over there at that sex line are like, who is this cinnamon bitch? one-on-one time with me. I usually, when someone says I need one-on-one time with you, I say, you should really bring a friend. But anyhow. Oh, goodness. Hey, there's no shame in that. Reminds me of that party I was at when back in my college days. Went to this party to watch some WrestleMania, and of all the things, what ended up happening was, as we were watching, someone put my head between their legs and another one came up behind and started pile driving me up and down. The next thing I knew, it was a battle royal to see who would come out on top. Oh, goodness. Nothing to be embarrassed about. We don't pass judgment here. My new idea for Aladdin, a remake, if you will. Disney Princess Jasmine licking the flying carpet while Aladdin's watching and spanking Abu at the same time. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. We've been having so much fun. Do you all realize that nearly an hour and a half has passed by? Time flies when you're having fun. I mean, how many times I gotta tell all the ladies, if you got a sweetheart, use them up like a plastic sex toy and turn them every which way but loose. Make him scream, don't stop, don't stop. Oh, goodness. I believe everyone's. Now the chat's taken on a life of its own. I love it. And I'll say it again, ladies. If it's a crime, for all of you ladies out there, if it's a crime to enjoy sex, well, someone better break out the handcuffs. There's no shame in enjoying it. Who's with me, ladies? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Gives whole new meaning to being used up like a plastic sex toy. Oh, a little one. Kinky. Of course, then again, it's only kinky the first time around. I knew what you meant, sweetie. Reminds me of my favorite type of parties: whips, chains, chips, and dip. Well, that's the whole point. We talk about whatever's on our kinky little minds. Oh, that's wonderful. And there's nothing wrong with it. Well, depends. I mean, controversy is sometimes what we end up dealing with in these sort of live streams. Just be careful where you go with it. You're smart enough to know. "17 years is a long time. No shame in that at all." Oh, whips, chains, chips, and dip. Oh, who wouldn't like that type of party? Only thing lacking at that point is a blindfold. And we all know the ladies are more dirty-minded than the men. It's just they're quieter. Some of us. Which brings to mind, I gotta ask Kat this one. Kat, do you prefer my hair down or do you like it up? Oh, goodness. He quickly retracted. Just put it out there and then just pulled it right back like, oh. I understand. when it comes to women, I find that they're beautiful in their own special way, no matter the size or shape. Up looks good. Some people like it down, some people like it up. Of course, when it's up, it just makes it easier to get a handle on me. Oh goodness, handlebars at that point. Princess Starsong, you're beautiful just the way you are. Of course, now I gotta do it again. Hey, Neo. That's gonna be the new joke. My theory on Aladdin. My theory on an Aladdin remake. Disney Princess Jasmine. That flying carpet. With Aladdin watching and spanking a boo. Sounds like it belongs more on Pornhub than it does on Disney. So now that tonight I've ruined both Disney and I've ruined Pokemon and I've ruined Scooby-Doo. I'm on a roll. Which that also brings to mind Mario Brothers. When Mario takes down... Yes, I actually knew that. Brings whole new meaning to a whole new world. That's a much nicer way of putting it, Zero. Well, let me also put this one out there for you, Princess Starsong. You know, still dying of the carpet joke. Well, let's go ahead and let's talk about Scooby-Doo then. We know what was going on in Scooby-Doo. At the time Scooby-Doo was designed, guys and gals that wore ascots were usually swingers. That explains why Fred split the group up the way that he did. Shaggy, Scooby, you go off and find the monster and get into all sorts of trouble. I'm going to go ahead and take Velma and Daphne out to the Mystery Machine. When this Mystery Machine is a-rockin', don't you come a-knockin'. Right now, well, that's another theory that was out there, but right now, Neo's just dying with laughter thinking about Scooby-Doo and the way that the gang was split up. Well, I'm just saying. Actually, there's a whole reason why the Ascots were there. The Ascots were actually there to make changing how whenever they would go to put in, the movement of the lips and everything, Hanna-Barbera was a factory for making cartoons. So the ascot that was the ascots and the collars and the turtlenecks were there just so they could make changing out the head for the different lip movements. Make it. That's how they did that. So all jokes aside, that's really actually what it was for. And the original voice for Shaggy was Casey Kasem. For those that find all that interesting. But of course, I'm going to have fun with the ascot thing. Well, it is that time again where we need to begin winding down the live stream. We need to start winding down the live stream and calling it an evening. We've been going for almost 2 hours, and I've had a great time with each and every one of you. We've all had some laughs, talked about some important things. Yeah, I believe they did. I believe they did. I love doing the live streams with you all. It's just easier if I'm going every other week. It's easier to schedule. So every other weekend. So not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, you'll see me again, and we'll have as much fun as we can possibly have with our clothes on. Well, you know me, I'll be on and off STO, doing what I do best. But it is that time where we begin to wind down for the evening. As a reminder, get on over to Teespring. I have my own merchandise. Yes, there is cinnamon merchandise. And who doesn't love cinnamon merchandise? Designed by Princess Starsong herself. She designed it. And along with that, not only do I have my own merchandise, I have my own Discord. The only way to get into that, though, is you have to become a member of the Patreon. $1 a month grants you access to my Discord. And of course, all proceeds go back into the Prince Magnum channel. You designed my merchandise. Do you not remember, Princess? Just one. My merchandise is on the Prince Magnum channel store. Yes, it turned out amazing. I absolutely loved it. The moment I looked at it, I was like, yes, that's definitely me. And you'll actually find that on the About section of the Prince Magnum channel. You'll find a link directly to the Teespring store. Maybe one day I'll get big enough where I might have my own makeup line. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? But of course, to be able to do that, you share me out in your communities, share me to all of your discords, share me out to everyone you know. And when the live stream goes off, don't be afraid to leave a comment, leave a like if you haven't done so during the live stream. Oh yes, we added that a while back, almost 2 years ago now. Oh, there you go. My dear friend, Danny, she actually has a hoodie from with my logo on it. She has cinnamon. She has cinnamon merchandise. A cinnamon hoodie. Now, along with that, since we've already talked about Patreon, we've talked about my Discord, and we've talked about the Teespring, I get to remind all of you, get out there and work on some sort of a project. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind, they make horrible bedfellows. Oh yes, we've got coffee mugs. Where was I? Oh yeah, get out there and work on a project, don't care what it is, just do something with yourselves. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind make horrible bedfellows. If you have a sweetheart, do something hot and spicy with them today. And as always, for every last one of you out there, if no one out there has told you that they love you today, Cinnamon does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.